Hello everybody, let's talk sports. Spring practice continued today for the UH Warrior football team, and 9 sessions in, one of the main issues for Hawaii remains the offensive line. Warriors gave up an NCAA record 59 sacks last season. That's been promoted pretty heavily here during spring drills. One major adjustment though came in the form of veteran O-line coach Gordy Shaw stepping in to oversee the big fellas up front in Manoa. He's worked with some high-profile players during his career, particularly while at the University of Minnesota, and this season adopts an O-line that includes two-time All-WAC first-teamer John Estes.
I see a group of guys that are really working hard, very conscientious, trying to pull together as a unit and doing a good job of it so far.
I don't want to pop any champagne bottle and celebrate, but we just got to stay humble and keep on getting better, and everything's a lot simpler and, you know, kind of back to basics, and, you know, we got kind of complicated the last couple of years, but everything's more simple.
You know, I don't look like the brightest guy in the world, and I'm probably not, and I really believe in that KISS principle, keep it simple, stupid, and you know, when you present things to them, there's only so many gaps that guys can rush through, and then those are the gaps we got to protect. I think they've picked up on that theory and philosophy really good.
Also key for Hawaii, and every O-line for that matter, the situation at left tackle. Right now it's Aaron Kia, a 6'5" senior out of Mililani. Kia's coming off a nasty flu during the offseason, which resulted in his losing some 20 pounds.
Now we got a magnifying glass over us. We've got that. Oh, you got 50 some odd sacks on you guys. So it's like we're not going to settle for that no more. The whole year we had last year, me playing with John and Peppa and Ralph, all these guys and Bula, everybody got playing time last year. So I mean, I'd say experience, but I think also playing together. And now it's like we're trying to get a set line now.
Spring drills runs through April 24th.
Well, I hope you're all having a pleasant evening. The biggest experiment during spring drills is working for the UH football team. Inoke Funaki's switch from quarterback to running back so far has been a success.
Does it almost bring you back to like Pop Warner days out there in La Ie?
Oh, almost, you know. That was the last time I can remember playing a different position other than quarterback.
And what was it?
It was, well, I used to play defensive line once in Pop Warner.
So you could be a pass rush defensive end then.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't take it that far, but.
Picking up blocking assignments has been Funaki's biggest challenge, followed by being on the other side of a shovel pass.
I remember the first time I ran the play with the team live. I remember dropping the ball, you know. It has its challenges, you know, but, you know, it's been coming on, you know, I think with just repetitions, it'll eventually, hopefully become second nature.
From what you've been able to see, what kind of grade would you give him?
I'll tell you what, he's getting better as a blocker, and that's probably the most technical thing you have to learn, because he's natural as a running back. He can make you miss, and he's made more guys miss, and he's had longer runs than any other running back thus far. So I don't know exactly where he's on the depth chart, but I'll say one thing, the stock is going up.
Speaking of stocks going up, former Warrior defensive end David Vekune checking out practice today. He's anxiously awaiting the NFL draft, which is next Saturday.
They're brothers on the same team, but they're not really teammates. Billy Ray Stutzman is a freshman receiver for the Warrior football program, while older brother Craig is his receivers coach. And despite the 10 years that separate them, there's still a healthy rivalry. Give them the mic, and it doesn't take long to tell the Stutzman brothers like to compete. Just listen to the questions they ask each other.
How do you feel to get a lot of attention and interviews, and you haven't even stepped on the field or caught a ball yet?
I may be skinny, but I think I'll always be faster than you. Well, what's your thoughts on that?
But put them head to head, and youth is served.
Who's better looking?
Me. Always slower. That's why he may be faster with the legs, but faster with the mind.
All joking aside, the brothers say there's pros and cons to working so closely together.
You get a little bit more frustrated with the ones you care really deeply about. So sometimes when it's just, you know, a little cuts a step short or he doesn't make the right read, it really just chaps my butt.
Billy Ray knows his older brother and coach expects more out of him, and he takes it as a positive.
He pushes me to be my best, and, you know, I'm just striving to be everything I can.
And everything isn't always a competition between these siblings, as they both agree on at least one thing.
So who is the better receiver freshman year?
No doubt, me.
Yeah, I was terrible my freshman year.
But he got better, of course. And another thing the brothers agree on, nothing beats going home for a home-cooked meal. Now, the Warriors have 6 practices left in spring. They wrap it all up on Saturday, April 25th with Junior Day and the Warrior Bowl at Aloha Stadium. And the very next day, on April 26th, former Warrior cornerback Kenny Patton is leading an NFL-type combine and camp training for football players in grade 8 through 12. It's the first and only camp of its kind in the islands and is patterned after the drills and techniques used in pro combines. The goal is to help Hawaii athletes develop better form and technique, preparing them for tryouts at the next level.
It's not going to be an actual combine, but it's going to be training for the combine. So we'll be doing the 7 combine tests, rotating all the student athletes through and coaching them up to the best of our abilities. We think it's really important because as these student athletes go to camps, combines, clinics, they're tested, and if they don't know exactly what they're supposed to do, it's going to hurt them in the long run.